is a research facility in Wuhan that does study bats, and it is believed that bats may be the original source of this particular strain of coronavirus, although they probably passed through a different animal in order to infect humans.
A lot of the viruses that make us sick actually originate in animals. Some of the viruses that cause the flu come from birds and pigs. HIV/AIDS comes from chimpanzees. The deadly Ebola virus likely originates in bats. And in the case of the 2019 coronavirus, there's some evidence it went from a bat to a pangolin before infecting a human. While viruses are very good at jumping between species, it's rare for a deadly one to make this journey all the way to humans. That's because it would need all these hosts to encounter each other at some point. That's where the Wuhan market comes in. It's a wet market. A kind of place where live animals are slaughtered and sold for consumption.
It was not a surprise at all, and I think that it was not a surprise to many scientists. The cages stacked above one over another. Animals at the bottom are often soaked with all kinds of liquid, animal excrement, pus, blood, or whatever the liquid they're receiving from the animals above.
That's exactly how a virus can jump from one animal to another. If that animal then comes in contact with or is consumed by a human, the virus could potentially infect them. And if the virus then spreads to other humans, it causes an outbreak.
Then disinfection begins. They can't miss a single spot. The community-based efforts are part of the Chinese government's focus during the epidemic.
West Shore RCMP are investigating after a woman whipped out a machete in an altercation over a parking spot.
Verbal dispute occurred over the parking stall. The suspect went into her vehicle, grabbed a machete, brought it out, and brandished it in a manner that was threatening to the complainant.
Yo, see me outside, bro. See me outside, bro. What did I say? What did I say? I didn't say anything. Come on, come on, come on. You can't hurt me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Chill. No, fuck that. Yo, fuck that. Fuck that. Bro, yo, please. Please. No. Stop, buddy. I didn't fucking instigate that shit, bro. Yo, listen.
You don't know who the fuck my brother is.
Go away. Go away. Get a man. Go away. Oh, my God. Sheena.
Excuse me.
Go away now.
Get the fuck away. Where's my car? Pardon me. Where's my car? Over there. Video me. Don't video me.
Don't do that.
I don't give a shite. Don't give a shite. I don't permission to be
arrested now.
Get off me now. Get off me now.
Get off me now.
Get off.
Get that camera away now.
Get off. Get off me now. Get off me now.
Get the camera away.
Get off me.
Get the camera away.
Don't video with me without my bullshit. Get it out.
Get in the car. Give me that airband. Go away now.
Give me that airband. Go away from the car.
Go away.
Hey, lad. Give me that airband now.
It is their fault. It was. It was. Don't only on him for a week.
I'm not telling you, and I'm not just telling you. You don't have to. You don't have to. Harold, get that iPad. Get away from her. Get away from her. Get your airbag.
Get off that. Get off that.
Hey,
fuck off.
what do you know?
Coast to coast retail stores are selling out.
Big shortage. We haven't had any face masks in 3 to 4 weeks now.
Every day there are more coronavirus cases and fewer supplies. Sales of virus protection products have surged by 817% in the last 2 months. Some officials report price gouging. This Amazon listing offers 4 boxes of masks, usually about $20, for over $1,000. Amazon says it's blocking or removing thousands of offers where bad actors are attempting to artificially raise prices on basic need products during a global health crisis.
Store shelves are being left barren across the U.S. as Americans stock up on cleaning and sanitizing supplies to protect against the coronavirus. As products run scarce, some retailers are vastly increasing prices of the items. It's called gouging. Anna Werner's at a pharmacy in Manhattan where products are selling fast. Anna, what are you seeing?
You know, Anne-Marie, it seems like millions of Americans are on the hunt for the same thing, products that they think will protect them from the coronavirus.
Oh my God, it's just don't treat her like that. Are you okay? Very
Tensions flared at Woolworths Chullora around 7 o'clock this morning when 3 women became involved in a toilet paper tussle.
I just want 1 pack. No, not 1 pack.
General Manager Thad Kalez says customers were waiting up to 3 hours for supplies to be restocked, so now some products are limited to 2 items each.
After days of saying he didn't need a test despite potential exposure, today President Trump revealed he has been tested.
I don't think it's a big deal. I would do it. I don't feel that any reason. I feel extremely good.
Are you being selfish by not getting tested and potentially
Well, I didn't say I
exposing-
wasn't going to be tested.
Are you going to be?
Most likely, yeah.
Overnight, his personal physician releasing a letter saying a test for the virus was not currently indicated, as he said the president was low risk, despite coming into contact with several Brazilian officials who have since tested positive, including communications chief Fabio Weingarten, seen here next to the president. The Brazilian delegation also met with Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, and he too is now infected.
Thank you very much.
With officials urging social distancing, the president's also drawing criticism for seemingly disregarding advice from his own agencies, shaking hand after hand Friday in the Rose Garden.
But why are you shaking hands, sir?
Because it almost becomes a habit. People come up to me, they shake hands, they put their hand out. It's sort of a natural reflex. Shaking hands is not a great thing to be doing right now, I agree.
The coronavirus patent was applied for in 2015.
And this is something that's behind a lot of the misinformation and the misunderstanding that's going around about this, which is when this broke, when the outbreak started, it was just called coronavirus, and a lot of people don't understand that coronavirus isn't the name of this virus, it's the name of a wide family of viruses. So yes, there was a patent applied for in 2015. It was for a different coronavirus, and it was to do with research into vaccines. It is true that so far, children seem to be less affected by it. Their symptoms are generally a bit milder. However, it's not true that they can't get it. In China, there have been hundreds of children who have been hospitalized with it. And crucially, the really important thing to realize is even if their symptoms are milder, they can still be infected and they can still pass on the infection. So the idea that children are somehow safe from this is not true.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
Another claim of a coronavirus prediction in pop culture. The claim this time is that the 1981 Dean Koontz book, The Eyes of Darkness, actually predicted the outbreak. The paperback edition of the novel, released in 2008, includes a biological weapon called Wuhan 400. It's certainly a coincidence.